Good morning, everyone. Time is 9:30. I'll call the July 11th, 2023 meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This time we'll ask for public comment on agenda items other than development or rezoning. Anyone wish to speak on any agenda item today? Okay, hearing none. Move on to approval of the minutes from our June 27th regular meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
Yes, I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Approval of the bills. Any questions or comments on the batch of bills we have before us?
I'll make a motion to approve the bills.
I will second.
Okay, I'll ask for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have bids and quotes. We have new vehicles for the MPD. Captain?
Thank you. The first request I have is the vehicle purchase for the Patrol Division. On February 8th of this year, the board approved the purchase of 4 Ford Police Interceptors and related equipment in the amount of $289,071.92. We have learned that there is a supply chain issue with Ford, and the vehicles are not even in production yet. On behalf of the chief, I'm requesting approval to make the following purchases. 4 Chevrolet Tahoe vehicles from Whitmire Chevrolet. CoStar's pricing of these is $45,000 each. The Tahoes are now in stock at the dealer. Also, these vehicles will be outfitted with emergency and electronic equipment by Team Force at a cost of $18,818.80 each, and graphics by Octane Custom Design at $1,000 each. The total vehicle costs are $259,275.20. This is a difference of $22,033.72 from the original approved amount for the Fords. And that's part of the difference is because of a grant that is allowing us to buy some computer equipment. So based on that, I'm requesting approval.
Okay, thank you, Captain. Any questions or comments on the purchase of these Chevy Tahoes?
Not here.
Okay, do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the Chevy Tahoes.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes.
Thank you.
Captain, we have another vehicle request.
Yes, I'm also looking for approval on behalf of the chief to purchase a new vehicle from Hallman Chevrolet under the CoStars program. It is a 2023 white Chevrolet Equinox. The CoStars price for this vehicle is $27,285. 2 vehicles, older vehicles from the division, are being traded in to accommodate this purchase. One is a 2008 Ford Fusion, and the other is a 2011 Ford Expedition. The trade-in value for these vehicles is $2,000 for each vehicle. The purchase cost would then be $23,285. We currently have an aging vehicle fleet in the Investigative Services Division. On behalf of the chief, I recommend the approval of this purchase.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve this purchase as presented?
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, Captain, we have an equipment request.
Yes. The after-action review of a recent critical incident where the use of a less lethal shotgun was used against the subject revealed that having slings on these guns is a must. 3 quotes were attempted for this equipment. One company failed to reply. Edinburgh Outdoors quoted a price of $1,105 for 17 shotgun slings and 17 swivel bases. Mission Arms quoted a price of $960 for the same items. It is The recommendation of the chief that we purchase this necessary equipment from Mission Arms.
Thank you. Any questions or comments on this request?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, go ahead.
I would just like to actually commend the police officers that were on the scene for the incident that the captain was referring to. It could have ended a lot differently, and we assisted the PA state trooper that was there. And the less lethal option was because Millcreek showed up, and we were able to deliver that. So I commend the officers for all that they did to make sure that we had the less lethal option, that we used a less lethal option, because it could have gone very differently. Thank you very much. So I'll make a motion for this.
And I'll second.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have an industrial pump request, Sewer Department. Rob?
Thank you. Good morning. The Sewer Department is seeking approval to purchase a new Barnes chopper pump, Model 4S CMB 25044, for the industrial pump station off of Route 8. One quote was received from Miller Pump Supply for $21,274.48 under CoStar's contract 541212202202SB. The existing pump has been rebuilt several times and has reached the end of its useful life. Funds for this pump will be taken from the pump station replacement pump line of the sanitary sewer capital budget, leaving a balance of $67,790.52. It is my recommendation to purchase this pump.
Thank you, Rob. Do I hear a motion to approve this purchase?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Next up, we have some fencing for the pickleball courts. Ashley?
Thank you. Yes, the Parks and Recreation Department is requesting the installation of 4-foot coated vinyl fencing with a safety top rail for the court areas of Asbury and Zook Parks. The Asbury Park fencing would separate the tennis court and the 4 square courts from the pickleball courts, and the Zook Park fencing would separate the north and south rows of courts. Quotes were obtained from this project from Thomas Fencing, Erie Fencing, Keystone Fence. Thomas Fencing declined to be involved in the project. Erie Fence Company quoted us at $18,101, and Keystone Fence quoted us at $10,700. This project would be covered using funds from the Parks and Recreation capital budget, using the remainder of our trash can line item to cover this cost. And it is my recommendation to approve the fence installation at Asbury and Zook Park by Keystone Fence at the price of $10,700.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Is there a motion to approve the request for the pickleball fencing?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, next up, we have newer amended ordinance under review. Lydia?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is an agenda item that we've had on for a while now. I've spoken with Mr. Waldinger. We are working to finalize a couple of areas, and we are coordinating a meeting with the township's new engineer, Rob Rodemoyer, to review so that he has an opportunity to give some input. So still intend to have public review on this saldo once it is finalized on our end. Still currently several meetings away from that happening.
Okay, thank you. Number 8 on our agenda is a non-substantial amendment to a land development plan. Mr. Waldinger?
Thank you. Good morning. The developer for West Ridge Estates Phases 1 and 2, Robert and Elise Sessler, are proposing to non-substantially amend the approved land development plans for both phases to comply with fire code requirements. This amendment would add a 20-foot wide asphalt drive along the north side of West Ridge Estates Phase 2, connecting to Blackberry Lane in Phase 1. This drive will allow fire apparatus full access to the site and will improve general vehicular circulation in both developments. The majority of the changes are to the Phase 2 land development plan, but Phase 1 also needs an amendment to show a small portion of the drive that extends into Phase 1 along its south property line, the drive's connection to Blackberry Lane, and the addition of a cross-access easement between the two parcels. This amendment is a benefit to the safety of the complex, and I recommend approval of the amendments to both West Ridge Estates Phase 1 and Phase 2.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Any questions or comments on this amendment? I'll ask for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
And I will second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Stormwater maintenance agreement and stormwater management plan acceptance. Matt?
Thank you. I have two, but I'm going to handle them separately. First you have before you an executed stormwater management maintenance agreement for West Ridge Estates Phase 2 land development plan. Greenman Peterson Incorporated, our contracted third-party inspecting engineer, has reviewed the plan for consistency with the township stormwater management ordinance. The plan does comply with the substantive requirements of the ordinance. So it is our recommendation to accept the plan as submitted and to approve the stormwater management maintenance agreement as it meets the substantive requirements of the stormwater management ordinance.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Is there a motion for approval on this as presented?
Yes, so moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Okay, and then the second part?
Yep. The second stormwater management plan is for a plan for a dwelling at 3649 Zimmerly Road. It has also been reviewed by GPI for consistency with the township's stormwater management ordinance. The developers are Thomas F., Michael S., and Gregory J. Scott-Nicky. The plan complies with the substantive requirements, and so I would recommend that the board approve the plan. Regarding the stormwater maintenance agreement, one of the owners of the property is an out-of-town resident, lives in the state of Florida. So the document is currently in transit back from Florida after being signed and notarized. So I would recommend that the board accept the stormwater maintenance agreement on the condition that we receive the fully executed document.
Okay, thank you, Matt. Is there a motion for approval of this stormwater maintenance agreement as presented with the stipulation that the documents be received from out of town?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. We have a sidewalk deferral request concerning the same property just presented. Matt?
Thank you. Yes, this is also for a new proposed dwelling at 3649 Zimmerly Road. Again, the developers are Thomas F., Michael S., and Gregory J. Scott-Nicky. They are requesting a deferral to their requirement to construct sidewalks. There are currently no sidewalks in the area. It is our recommendation to approve the request with the condition that it is verified that the stormwater management plan takes into account the deferred sidewalk. There are no sidewalks in the adjacent area and no plans for sidewalks at this time. Similar to the last item, this document is also still in transit back from Florida, so I would make that same stipulation that we receive the fully executed documents before being signed by the board.
Thank you, Matt. Is there a motion on this sidewalk deferral request as presented?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. Number 11 on our agenda is a tax assessment settlement agreement. Lydia?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a tax assessment appeal settlement involving 7 properties that are owned by the Blue Group Properties Group. These properties are located at 2001 Peninsula Drive, Fillmore Avenue, 2800 West 21st Street, 2820 West 23rd Street, 2101 Peninsula Drive, 2111 Peninsula Drive, and 2221 Peninsula Drive. The tax years at issue are 2021, 22, and 23. The property owners and the school district have agreed upon an aggregate assessed value for the subject properties for the school tax year and all the subsequent years to be $3.9 million. And there is new assessed values that would be applied for each of those properties, but that's with the school district. The township's tax is not impacted by this settlement. It would be my recommendation to approve the settlement, or the stipulated settlement, and authorize Jenny Hernyson from our office to sign that stipulation and for filing with the court.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or comments on this settlement agreement? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Number 12, communications, treasurer communications. Mark?
Nothing at this time.
Okay. Next up, we have a training request from the police department. Captain?
Thank you. On behalf of the chief, I am requesting approval to send 3 Special Investigation Unit detectives, would be Fennell, Buckner, and Katerna, to a 1-day training course called Advanced Methamphetamine Investigations. This is on October 6th. The training opportunity is sponsored by the Ohio High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area Task Force and is free of charge. No overtime costs are anticipated. The travel costs would be 2 hotel rooms for 1 night, which would total $390 plus taxes and fees. Per diem for all 3 officers. The first day would be $48 each. The second day would be $64 each, which totals $336. Fuel and tolls cost would be approximately $36. Total cost for the training would be $762. Methamphetamine use continues to plague our area, and I highly recommend the training be approved.
Okay, thank you. Where is this training?
I believe it's...
In Ohio somewhere?
No, I
Oh,
believe it's
just-
near Pittsburgh.
Okay, just curious. It says sponsored by the Ohio.
Yeah, we are in that region.
Okay.
That,
Gotcha. So it's somewhere in Pennsylvania, but
Yes.
downstate. Okay. Is there a motion to approve this training as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the training.
I'll second.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next, we have another training request from the Administration Department for the PSATS Northwest Regional Forum. It's going to be held at the Sheraton Erie Bayfront in Erie on Thursday, August 10th. No travel expenses are required. The attendees would be Kim Clear, me, Dan Olet, Matt Waldinger, and Ashley Marsteller. The cost is $99 per person for a total cost of $495. This is where PSATs from Harrisburg, they travel around the state presenting different regional forums. So we're very fortunate that they were able to come up to this area and present different topics. It looks like on budgeting, Parks and Rec. There's always a good segment on municipal issues with the solicitors. And so I'll make a motion to approve this training as presented.
And I'll second.
Okay. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, executive session was held on July 6th of this year. We discussed real estate matters related to right-of-way easements and parks and rec facilities, litigation related to right-to-know, zoning hearing board appeals, state court lawsuit, and code enforcement matters. Anything further under solicitor communications, Lydia?
Nothing from me, sir.
Okay. And next up, we have a hiring request from the CRS department, and information received prior to our meeting indicates that this new hiring request be tabled. I guess to give time to further evaluate the applicant. I'll make a motion to table this new hire.
And I'll second.
Thank you, Kim.
Mhm.
Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Next up is a new hire for a full-time public safety dispatcher. Dawn, you're not handling that? Okay. Kim, you want to handle that?
Sure, yes. We actually have the administration recommending the hire of Amanda DeBacco for the position of public safety dispatcher at $19.51 per hour. And the start date would be July 17th of 2023. Amanda currently works as a paramedic for East County EMS. Prior to that, she was a police and fire EMS dispatcher for East County Communications since 2010. So I will make a motion to approve the hiring of Amanda DeBacco.
I'll second.
Okay. Is this to fill a vacancy, Kim?
Yes, it is to fill a vacancy.
Okay, thank you.
And I do believe we have another vacancy for those that are looking for a job in public safety.
Okay. I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
I vote yes. And we have a hiring request from Parks and Rec. Ashley?
Yes, thank you. The Parks and Rec Department is requesting the rehire of 2 lifeguards that formerly worked for us at the appropriate rates. One was a water safety instructor at the rate of $14.50, and the other was a lifeguard at the rate of $13.50. And we also are requesting the hire of a new lifeguard at the starting rate of $12.50. So it would be my recommendation to improve these employees for the 2023 season.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. Is there a motion to approve these hires?
I emphatically actually make the motion because I had Jordan in school. Yes, way back in 8th grade. And I actually know Matt McCormick. They're very nice young men and women. So
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you, Dan. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes.
Maybe I should make it clear that I didn't know that they were applying. Like, that had nothing to do
Jordan's
with
been a long employee of
Okay, all
ours,
right. I
yeah,
just want to make
yes.
that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know they were applying. Like, I just saw their names.
Yes.
So, okay.
Okay, next up on our agenda is the new hire approval for the Millcreek Township Fire Chief. I'll turn it over to Dan.
Okay. It's, proposing that we hire Michael Cliff as fire chief, retroactive to yesterday, July 10th, at a salary of $94,000 a year. Michael's a seasoned firefighter and paramedic with 23 years' experience, most recently with the Saybrook Township, Ohio Fire Department. He's also a township trustee for Kingsville Township. He's been doing that since 2017. So I'll make a motion to hire Michael Cliff as our fire chief.
Okay, do I hear a second?
I second.
Okay, I'll call for a vote. Mrs. Clear?
Yes.
Mr. Olet?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, and next we are going to have the Westridge chaplain, I believe. Okay,
Should we have him come up to the microphone?
you want to come up here, sir? Appreciate that.
This will be our swearing-in process for our new fire chief.
If you will pray with me. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with grateful hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom as we lift our new fire chief in prayer. We thank you for the opportunity to welcome him into a position of leadership and responsibility within our community. We ask that you bless our new fire chief with the strength and courage to carry out his duties with excellence and integrity. Grant him the wisdom to make sound decisions in times of crisis and the ability to lead with compassion and empathy for our team and the community they serve. May our new fire chief be a beacon of inspiration, fostering a culture of unity and cooperation among our fellow firefighters. Grant him the insight to identify and address the needs of the department, ensuring the safety and well-being of both firefighters and the community. Lord, we pray that you infuse our new fire chief with a servant's heart, a heart that seeks to make a positive difference in the lives of those he encounters. May his leadership inspire others to serve selflessly and wholeheartedly. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain. We'll now have the swearing in of the new chief. Dan?
Okay. Chief, you and your family, please come forward. After the swearing in, the chief's wife will pin his badge on his chest. The official. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Michael R. Cliff, do solemnly swear that I will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that I will discharge the duties of Millcreek Township Fire Chief in Millcreek Township, Erie County, with fidelity.
At this time, we will excuse the new chief and anybody else. We do have the remainder of our meeting, so if anybody wants to be excused, and I believe there's a reception out in the lobby, or?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yes, yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, continuing with our meeting, number 14, citizens to be heard. Any citizens that wish to be heard at this time can come up to the podium. Name and address, please.
Thank you.
Yep.
Michael Umpleby, 165 Pinehurst Drive, Cranberry Township, PA, 16066. I think you know who I am. I think you know what brings me here. If you don't, I don't know what to say. I know I've mentioned before, I handle insurance claims. Been doing it for a long time. Complaints in my line of work are something we deal with on a daily basis. If someone is upset with some aspect of their claim experience, they will contact my supervisor. In 23 years, none of my supervisors have ever asked me to respond to a complaint about me. Also, they've never asked me to draft a letter for them to sign. I think if my supervisor ever does that, I'll believe he lost his mind. That seems to be exactly what you supervisors have done, not once, but twice in regard to my parents' porch. The last time I was here, I practically begged you to respond to my parents regarding their request to have their zoning hearing board appeal fee returned. And like the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. They received a letter bearing your signatures, this letter right here. We don't believe for a second that you wrote it. But since you did sign it, you're going to own what was written. I just wonder if you even read it before you signed it and sent it to my parents. For purposes of refreshing your recollection, you are addressing residents that thought about this, stressed over this, fought about this, talked about this every day for more than 2 years. Do you think for a second that they need their recollection refreshed, especially from you? Here's another one I like. At the board's direction and at no cost to you, the township solicitor, Mark Shaw, Lydia Caparosa, and Mr. Waldinger met with you to discuss your proposed project. May I remind you that the errors committed by your zoning officer, your zoning hearing board, and your solicitor cost my parents nearly $9,000 in litigation fees that they should not have had to spend. What nerve to say at no cost to you? Here's another one. Despite the township's extensive efforts to assist you in resolving the building line issue, there was no issue. I said it. Attorney Rhodes said it, and it was confirmed by Judge Meade. There was no issue. Millcreek Township made it an issue. Here's another one. It is not township policy or practice to refund zoning hearing board appeal fees, and it is not obligated to refund the fee under statute. We understand that. However, this is a case where the township was clearly wrong. I know you disagree with me, but they were clearly wrong in denying my parents' permit. And I don't think it's too much to ask that you return their money paid for a bogus zoning hearing board meeting that should have never been necessary in the first place. Again, from your letter. And despite Judge Meade's opinion, the township continues to believe that it is not authorized to unilaterally change recorded building lines. This one is really stupid. No one asked for a building line to be changed. It didn't need to be changed. We know that you supervisors did not write this letter. We know that because it smacks of condescending, sore loser, we were just trying to help you garbage that could only come from an attorney. We believe Mr. Shaw wrote this letter, and you signed it. One thing I noticed in this letter is the word interpretation appears 3 times. This made me go back and read the zoning ordinance again, as I've done on many occasions, just to see if I could figure out why he was saying what he said. I found something interesting that I'm going to share, and this is at no cost to you. For purposes of refreshing your recollection, my parents went to the zoning department to submit a building permit application. They wanted to build a porch on the front of their home, and that porch would cross the building line by approximately 6 feet. The then zoning ordinance, because you have changed it in direct response to their claim, stated that an open porch may be erected in a front yard extending for a distance of not more than 10 feet beyond the required building setback line. And even though that building ordinance, even though the zoning ordinance specifically allowed for the porch as planned, this wording was ignored, and their permit application was denied based on conditions not in the zoning ordinance, but in the saldo. So I will direct your attention to Section 145-5 in the zoning ordinance. It's titled, by sheer luck, Interpretation. Paragraph D, Construction and other standards. Specific standards governing construction as are established in Chapter 29, Code Enforcement, Part 3, Uniform Construction Code, and Part 2, Public and Private Improvements, and Chapter 125, Subdivision and Land Development, and other ordinance enacted by the township or other governmental entity shall govern actual construction, comma, this chapter, Chapter 145, the zoning ordinance, to govern administration and the submission of and action on applications for zoning permits and certificates. The zoning ordinance, Chapter 145, not the saldo. For the $877,000 that was paid to the solicitor and his law firm, I would think that he would know this. In summary, because of the errors of the zoning officer, the zoning hearing board, and the solicitor, my parents were forced into litigation which was completely unnecessary, and it cost them $9,000. And the taxpayers got the litigation bill for Millcreek Township, which was $24,189. And you supervisors sit there in silence. And you seem not to care about any of this. And you can't come up with one unique thought of your own in response to my parents. Your apathy seems to have no limits.
Any other citizens to be heard?
Hey, Jerry Video, 1720 West Gore Road. Hey, I've called you, trying to see, did you have a meeting on the EMS thing? Come on, people, let me know.
Still in the early stages.
Early stages yet. Let's not fall into the trap that the school district did with the Erie County Botech School. You know, if this is going to be a county-wide thing, is this fee going to stay within Millcreek? It was just like the city. Is that fee going to stay within the city? You know, it's not going to. It's going to benefit the county. You know, with less, they're doing this because they have less people out there to support this type of thing. I'm sorry, I mean, I guess I'm being a little selfish here, but, you know, we hire police, you have a police force, now we have a fire department, we have Millcreek paramedic. We have this all on our own, you guys created it. $1.8 million coming out of EGRA. I'll let you go pretty quick, because you got to get out to the park, you know. I just think it's a bad idea, and I hope you guys stay clear of this. I'm not for paying two fees. Maybe Millcreek will be incorporated into it, but I think that's where's the 1.8 million going to come every time he doesn't have it? It's going to come back on us as taxpayers. But we're supporting not Millcreek people. We're supporting the county, where people move into the county to pay less taxes, where the politicians refuse to accept Governor Wolf's proposal for a $25 fee for state police service, and we're paying for police, and they don't want to pay for it. Everybody's getting away with something, but the township, the people of Erie, maybe Corey, Waterford, we're going to end up paying for that. Not the outer districts, the little rural places. So I ask you to I hope you have hearings on this, because I think it would be important for all the township people to know about it, and I think you ought to stay out of it. I think Mr. Davis is out of hand. He's nothing but an authoritarian to me, and he belongs out. And the only reason he's in there now is because of the phobia of a transgender man, woman, whatever some people want to say. He's the only reason he got in there. It's just a phobia and a fear. It's a sad, sad statement on Erie County. And hands off to her, Cheryl, because I had to call her yesterday because I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And she took care of me. She's a great gal. You're blessed to have her. Thank you.
Okay. Any other citizens wish to be heard today? Okay. I have adjournment as the last item. Is there a motion to adjourn our meeting?
Mr. Chair,
Oh, go ahead, Kim, you have something to add?
I guess I should have said this when everyone was in here, but I really would like to acknowledge the fact that this, our new fire chief, this has been a long time in coming, and I am looking forward to Millcreek Township that can make sure that we are keeping keeping residents safe, continue to keep residents safe in collaboration with our volunteer fire departments. And I would like it also to be known and put in writing that volunteer fire departments are still a part of this equation. We still need to be giving to our volunteer fire departments and donating to our volunteer fire departments because we are working in conjunction with our volunteer fire departments. And this won't work without them. So, okay, now I'm off the soapbox. Thank you very much, and I will make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we are adjourned at 10:10. Thank you.